Slovenians, some of the luckiest people in the world. The war in Yugoslavia barely touched them. They've had independence and peace for 10 years, and in the summer of 2004, they joined Europe. But thousands of people will be left behind, victims of a bureaucracy that has taken away their citizenship. 300 miles away in a cellar in Bosnia, Živa Simionovic is cold and angry.
What right did they have to erase me? Born in Slovenia, lived in Slovenia for 22 years. What right did they have to erase me?
One morning, 10 years ago, this woman and thousands like her woke up to discover that her name, her past, everything about her had been erased. She'd become a non-person, with no rights to work, to own a house, to have health insurance. Now, the only way she can go back to her family in Slovenia is with a visitor's visa valid for only a month. So, Živa Simionovic lives her life in Slovenia a month at a time. The only way she can get a visa is to come here to Bosnia, 300 miles away. The only place she can live is in this cellar belonging to a friend. She was born in Ljubljana, Slovenia in 1970. She grew up and went to school there. When the former Yugoslavia crumbled, Slovenia was the one country that escaped without war. But when Živa was 21, Slovenia gained independence, and the new government demanded that all non-Slovenians apply for citizenship. Since Živa thought she was already a Slovenian, she didn't apply. The trouble was, Živa's parents were Bosnian. In 1991, in the early days of independence, the Slovenian government opened a 6-month window for non-ethnic Slovenians to apply for citizenship. 170,000 were successful. The Slovenian government offered another opportunity in 1998, but only for people who were permanently resident. Many, like Živa, became aliens in their own country, or as they call it, erased. Ljubljana seems European already, but there's a growing gap between where Slovenia is going and the people they're leaving behind. Matthias Krivic is a champion of the erased. He used to be one of Slovenia's top judges, but today Krivic spends every waking hour doing battle on their behalf with a bureaucracy schooled in the old ways of Yugoslavia. Mr. Krivic is now the legal advisor to the Association of the Erased, people whom, for several reasons, didn't apply for citizenship in 1991 and became erased.
When I tried to arrange my daughter's scholarship, they told me I couldn't because I had been erased.
I was a delegate in the first Slovenian parliament. A colleague called me and told me that they took away my citizenship and that I'm erased. From that day on, I was an alien.
When I wanted to renew my driver's license, they asked me to give them my passport. I gave it to them and they destroyed it.
I wanted to go to my father's funeral. I asked for a guarantee that I could return to Slovenia. I didn't get it and they took away all my papers.
All these people had their reasons for not applying. Some didn't know they needed to, others didn't want to know, and some weren't able to. But Mr. Krivic sees something more sinister going on.
These persons are not from Slovenian ethnical origin, and in '92 they were erased with a clear political intent to push these people out of Slovenia.
Živa Simionovic feels pushed out. It's been more than a week since she applied for her visa, and still no news about when she can leave her freezing cellar in Bosnia and go home.
Zdaj nobenega tudi ne dobim na telefon. Kako bom zdaj vedela, kaj ne naredim? Vsaj, ko bi se mi kdo oglasil. Ponavadi pride tako, veš, pa mi rečejo, dej, pet malo ven, ne, da ne boš enkrat prišla ven koliko kart, pa ne boš več videla, ne, ker si skozi v kleti, ne. Enostavno ne moreš, ne, pa tudi lahko sam povabim kakšnega tako, veš, da se ne upal norčval, veš. Vsi imajo nekaj tako zrihtan, kakor tako normalno. No, sej, sem zadovoljna.
No one knows for sure how many people have been erased. Slovenia's government says it's about 4,000, whilst human rights organisations like Helsinki Monitor say the figure's closer to 80,000. Franjo Herman was another who got caught between the present and the past. A law that removes his citizenship and his papers, and an old-style bureaucratic system that only functioned with the correct paperwork. He came here to Ljubljana's leading medical clinic and was told he needed an operation for stomach cancer. Because he was erased, Mr. Herman had lost his right to health insurance. No one can be sure the operation would have saved him, but he didn't get the surgery the doctors said he needed, and Franjo Herman died.
If he would have had the health insurance, the social insurance, they would have operated him. For sure they would have. But they couldn't.
Professor Sasha Markovic is head of the hospital. She says Franjo's lack of health insurance had nothing to do with why he was not treated.
We made all the arrangement with the surgeon that he would have been accepted, and we also suggested that the brother, in the meantime, because there was a question of a week, he should go to the government and arrange with the insurance. That was just a suggestion, that was not a rejection.
We told Rudy what the professor had told us about his brother missing his appointment for surgery.
That's not true. They told us the following: when you get the money, come and tell us, so that we can take him in. But he won't be operated on until the money is there.
Rudy showed me a letter from the clinic. It said,
a surgical operation was indicated during the hospitalization at the clinic in July, but due to unsettled health insurance, the operation was not performed.
A year ago, the human rights group Helsinki Monitor took Franjo's case to the High Court in Slovenia. The judge ruled that Franjo Herman was indeed a citizen of Slovenia and all his rights were returned to him. 8 days later, he died. What do you have to say to those people who have suffered quite considerably in the process? Some, I gather, have even died as a result of not being able to get hospital treatment.
I don't know such cases, I think.
Well, Minister, there are plenty of them, and we've met a number of families who've told us terrible stories about this. Now, from a European perspective, this seems odd.
No, the people were offered the opportunity to apply to regulate their status. I'm sorry that they didn't use this opportunity.
It's taken 8 days for the Slovenian embassy in Bosnia to issue her with a visa, but at last Živa is on her way home.
Oni hočejo, veš, da gremo, da so nekje v Evropi. Vse to je lepo, če se država bori zase, ampak naj prvo pomete po svoji hiši, pa naj gre ven, veš.
With Slovenia due to join the European Union in the summer of 2004, EU officials continue to monitor the situation, and Živa continues her monthly 1,000-mile round trip to come home again. But to what? No job, no health cover, no papers.
Ste tako kasno došli?
Pa dok smo ovo, ja kad sam došla iz Sara.
Šta ima, kako je dobila viza, šta ima?
7 mjesec dana opet.
Opet?
Do 4.
Joj.
Dobro, nije problem.
Pa dobro.
Pa to stvarno nije nemoguće.
Čut, nemoj sad plakat, vidi.
To je stvarno nemoguće se tako plati sve.